This from the mind of Bizz Gunthorp. Sponsored by Goozle Juice, Wild Side Enterprise. Goozle Juice, get it in ya! The Proxyopoly has proclaimed an abundance of space buggies to be existed with swamp buggies. It will be resolved through the continuance of the continuing conundrum. The toxic mullet has been chasing its demons. Bizz Gunthorp download. Goozle Juice, get it in ya! Goozle Juice, you'll be a winner! Sponsored by Goozle Juice, Wild Side Enterprise, and New Stinky Shoes. New Stinky Shoes.
How the hell y'all doing, Proxyopoly of the whole and its alternative forms? I'm NASCAR Cosa, the jackal of trading card games within the context of the Game of Proxyopoly podcast, a fictitious Proxyopoly system brought to you by all of the Proxyopolies of the Proxyopoly, i.e. Goozle Juice, Bizz Gunthorp, Cosmic Crunch Cereal, New Stinky Shoes, Thunderblast Energy Drinks, and others. It's all ad infinitum. Ceteris paribus, Cerberus paribus, Mutatus mutandis, Drang.
And at the call of NASCAR Coast, the general meeting Uncensored begins. Welcome, Proxyopolis. I'm Proxy Zero, Proxyopolis Potemplar of Clown Corp International Holdings Incorporated. Here at the general meeting Uncensored as representing the underlying interests of Clown Corp International Holdings Incorporated. At any rate, we now segue into the real reason for our gathering at this general meeting Uncensored, and that is the notable absence of the Jackal of Trades. Where could he be? Is he the dissident proxy lurking at the dissident the fictitious Proxyopoly system we call the Game of Proxyopoly podcast? Who could have seen this coming? Not Proxy Zero. Or is it Proxy Nil? Who knows? The dissident proxies are 2-in-1, twofold, trifold. The definition is truncated. Maybe that's the reason we're here. Gathered at the general meeting Uncensored. The producers are telling me I'm dragging this on too long. But at any rate, the Proxyopolis have gathered for the general meeting Uncensored. And we wait further feedback from the jackals of the general partner at large to facilitate their agenda.
I didn't hear a drang, proxies of the Proxyopoly. My name is irrelevant and immaterial, but worth noting. I am the proprietary qualitative algorithm at the general meeting of Proxyopoly of the whole and its alternative forms. Here are the announcements to make an opening statement. There are still 2 dissident proxies roaming this fictitious Proxyopoly system we call the Game of Proxyopoly podcast. And it is up to you, Proxyopolis, to find out more clues as to the whereabouts of these 2 dissident proxies roaming this fictitious Proxyopoly system. If you have any clues as to the whereabouts of these dissident proxies, kindly contact Proxyopoly today on the link tree. And that is linktree/NASCAR Cosa. Once again, irrelevant and immaterial. The proprietary quantitative algorithm is still functioning at the general meeting Uncensored. And we are now segueing into the proprietary quantitative algorithm.
One regards, Proxyopoly of the whole and its alternative forms. My name is irrelevant and immaterial, but worth noting. I am the proprietary quantitative algorithm of this Proxyopoly system. Here to introduce this episode's Shredmaster Supreme to qualify for the Shredmaster Supremum, which is any Proxyopolis chance to enter to win a proxy variable with interest to public health within the proxy context of any proxy variable for not financial performance protected under the trademark of Proxyopoly.
Silence, proprietary quantitative algorithm. appears to be malfunctioning again. The Proxyopolis Pro Tempors gather that the General Meeting Uncensored will have order for this General Meeting of Proxyopoly.
This transition is complete.
Fuck the government! Fuck the government!
Fuck the government.
Fuck the government! Fuck the government! I'm done.
I said drang, Proxyopoly of the whole and its alternative forms. It would appear the proprietary quantitative algorithm is malfunctioning at the General Meeting Uncensored of Proxyopoly of the whole and its alternative forms. You get the point by now. However, following confidential investigations by Proxyopoly of the whole and the jackals of the general partner at large, we are pleased to announce before the Proxyopoly that the next item on the agenda is the discharge of the general partner at large of Proxyopoly of the whole and its alternative forms. Here to make that remain are the jackals of the general partner at large. And bear in mind, this is a fictitious Proxyopoly system, and I'm NASCAR Cosa, the jackal of trading card games within the context of Proxyopoly. And you can find out more information about this on Linktree/NASCAR Cosa. Now, without further delay, it is the pleasure of the board of Proxyopoly to present, on behalf of the Proxyopolis Pro Tempors of Proxyopoly of the whole and its alternative forms, the jackals of the general partner at large. Drang.
They are the shackles of the general partner at large. Drang. Here the General Meeting Uncensored of Proxyopoly of the whole and its alternative forms. To introduce the proxy pundit at the door with enough mock proxies to take on the Proxyopolis Pro Tempor of this Proxyopoly system. And we have gathered here at the General Meeting Uncensored to vote upon the Proxyopoly with Bull, Bear, Beta, or Buzz. And that does include all the buzzwords. The buzzwords are scattered throughout this Proxyopoly system, which we bring to order at the General Meeting Uncensored by calling this meeting into order. Oh, don't you hear, jackals of the general partner at large? That, it's me, Proxy Zero again. A dissident proxy has filed a proxy holder resolution to vote against the discharge of the general partner at large of Proxyopoly of the whole and its alternative forms here at the General Meeting Uncensored. Will the dissident proxies concede? And why are they still roaming the Proxyopoly as Proxy Zero? Merely Proxyopolis Pro Tempor of Gunthorp International Holdings Incorporated, which does have underlying interests in Cosmic Crunch cereal, a delicious way to start your day. Fine-tune your breakfast with a balance that includes Thunderblast energy drinks. A tasty way to fuel your day in Proxyopoly as the streets of Proxyopoly never sleep. Hence the proxy holder resolutions on the board today. Tell us more about these. Proprietary quantitative algorithm.
Thank you, Proxy Zero. Once again, I am the proprietary quantitative algorithm of this Proxyopoly system. It is the duty of the proprietary quantitative algorithm acting secretary of the Proxyopoly to announce the formal notification of the office of the sub-proxy within the context of Proxyopoly of the whole and its alternative forms. And the notice of the office of the sub-proxy reads as thus. There's a proxy pundit at the door with enough mock proxies, specifically Proxyopoly preferred mock proxies, to take on the Proxyopolis Pro Tempor in all its forms at the General Meeting Uncensored, premiering now that the Jackal of Trades has been recused from the General Meeting of Proxyopoly.
I didn't hear a drang, Proxyopolis. The proxy contest for the office of the sub-proxy within the context of the game of Proxyopoly has been postponed until next season of the Game of Proxyopoly podcast, and Proxyopoly looks forward to the nomination of a Shredmaster Supreme in the Shredmaster Supremum for all Shredmaster Supremes who may qualify. What can any of these terms mean within the context of Proxyopoly? Find out more on the Linktree at Linktree/NASCAR-COSA.
That's right, it's me, NASCAR-COSA again. I don't mean to filibuster everybody's bubble here in the game of Proxyopoly by dragging this out further, as I'm sure that the jackals of the general party at large so anxiously anticipate their discharge, but there are still two dissident proxies roaming this Proxyopoly system. And with these proprietary algorithms malfunctioning right at the general meeting Uncensored of Proxyopoly, perhaps it's a reminder that as the jackals of the general partner at large so anxiously anticipate their discharge, that there are still two dissident proxies roaming this Proxyopoly system. Could there be some causality to these words and these terms and these statements within the context of Proxyopoly? Well, that's just the Game of Proxyopoly podcast. Join us this season or next season on the Game of Proxyopoly as it goes full circle at the special meeting Uncensored next season on the Game of Proxyopoly podcast. TBD. That's the fun. Now, without further delay, the jackals of the general party at large, who are now presented for the results of the Proxyopoly. Hey, this is a proxy card to vote upon their discharge.
Drang. That's right, Proxyopolis. So you think you can vote against the discharge of the general partner at large of Proxyopoly of the whole and its alternative forms? Proxyopolis better think twice before submitting any dissident proxies roaming the Proxyopoly system to vote against the discharge of the general partner at large at this general meeting Uncensored of Proxyopoly of the whole and its alternative forms. Drang.
And all you Proxyopoly with a bunch of synths out here on the streets of Proxyopoly, the Game Proxyopoly podcast, jackals of the general partner at large. And now that the jackal of trades has recused himself from the general meeting Uncensored, all jackals of the general partner at large of Proxyopoly have now been brought to heel at the general meeting Uncensored. And as a result of the Proxyopoly, we are now pleased to announce that the dissident proxy has succeeded in the dissident proxy contest to vote against the discharge of the general partner at large. What are we to do with the proprietary quantitative algorithms now, Proxyopoly, when there's another protraction card to be played? The proprietary Proxyopoly antitrust anti-logarithm. Next season on the Game of Proxyopoly podcast, we have the special meeting Uncensored. Here in TBD. Goozle juice.
Well, there you have it, folks. It's me, NASCAR-COSA again, the jackal of trading card games. And I guess we'll have to wait until next season to find out more from the jackal of trades when he returns next season to the Game of Proxyopoly podcast. Until next time, the general partner at large of Proxyopoly has not been discharged, and there seems to be some seltzer sprays of Gunthorp International Holdings Incorporated tying up the Goozle Juice assembly line. Ergo, for inquiries on your pending Proxyopoly preferred mock proxy orders, please contact Gunthorp International Holdings Incorporated at Proxyopoly on the Linktree at Linktree/NASCAR-COSA. Join the circus of cosmic corporate decision making today by subscribing to the Proxyopoly. Please note this proxy statement is entirely fictional and satirical, intended for entertainment and humorous purposes only. Any resemblance to real events, companies, or persons is purely coincidental. Now, this general meeting uncensored is postponed pending further adjournment. Whatever the hell that means in Proxyopoly. Thank you for listening, Proxyopolis. And a big thank you to the shitting Bill the Noise of the Pig and Bizz Gunthorp of Goozle Juice for their contribution to proxy content this proxy season. Until next time, Proxyopolis, stay Proxyopoly.